Okay, hello everyone. So our group, me and Jessa, will be presenting about intercultural and context about Western versus Asian parenting. So, for the introduction, we will explore how parenting differs between Western culture, especially in the U.S., and Chinese for the Asian culture. And we will look at each side's core values and styles using real example like the tiger mom phenomenon and the Chinese concept of guan. It's about training or carrying discipline. Our goal is to understand this parenting approach and context and learn how cultural values shapes families' life.
And next in here, we got cultural context shapes parenting. First, remember that culture shapes parenting. Studies show that children goals vary by culture. In the US, parents often aim to raise independent, confident children. They value individual expression and high self-esteem. In contrast, traditional Chinese value emphasize the family and group. Chinese parents stress respect for elders, obedience, and contributing to family honor. These cultural values set the stage for different parenting style on each side. And next in here we got Western or USA parenting style. So in the Western context, parenting typically support the child independence and self-expression. The ideal style is authoritative, which combines high warmth with firm but reasonable rules. Parents encourage kids to speak up, make choices, and pursue their own interests. Praise and positive feedback are common. For example, an American parents might explain rules and encourage dialogue, building the child confidence. And the goal is a happy, self-reliant child who can think critically. And next,
Okay, so next I will explain about Chinese or Asian parenting style. So, Chinese parenting tends to emphasize the family and community over individuals' desire. Confucian values like filial piety and humility are important. Parents teach children to work hard, bring honor to the family. Education is often the top priority. For example, like doing well in school is seen as everyone's duty, and Chinese parents commonly practice guan, literally meaning to govern or train. This means close guidance and strict oversight. For example, supervising homework or setting long study hours, because they believe it shows care. In this view, firm discipline and high expectation are ways of loving children. Okay, next, it's about parenting style. Authoritative versus authoritarian versus training. So, scholars classify parents as authoritative, or we can say warm but firm. And then authoritarian is like strict with little warmth and others. Western culture views authoritative parenting as best. Chinese parenting is often labeled as authoritarian, but that term can be misleading. Research suggests Chinese parents blend control with involvement. For example, Chow in 1994 found that Chinese mothers rate very high on a training ideology, strict and controlling but rooted in love and personal sacrifice. In practice, a Chinese parent might set very high expectations, like drilling piano practice, yet still invest daily in the child's life. The same behavior can have different meanings. Asian strictness often coexists with devotion. So it's not just about labels. Outcomes depends on how caring or harsh the parents is in context.
And in here we got case study, the tiger mom. So, a famous example is Amy Chua's 2011 book Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother. She described a very strict Chinese style approach, for example, like no play dates or watching television and only playing music like piano or violin practice and demands of straight A's. And her extreme cases, like making kids practice hour with a wooden stick, sparked a cultural debate. In one survey, she cited about 70% of American mothers felt too much academic pressure was harmful, whereas almost 0% of the Chinese mothers agreed. This illustrates how Western parents prioritize fun and self-esteem, while Chinese parents willingly exert intense academic pressure. And the Tiger Mom story highlights this different mindset. And next is academic pressure and outcomes. In practice, Chinese children often face heavy academic pressure. Many attend after-school tutoring, weekend classes, and summer camps. Chua notes Chinese parents spend about 10 times longer each day juggling schoolwork than USA parents. By contrast, Western kids might spend that extra time on sport, music for fun, or hanging out. As Chua puts it, Chinese parents believe nothing is fun until you're good at it. So they push hard practice early, knowing that success breeds enjoyment later. This approach often produces high test score, though it can also lead to stress or less free play.
Okay, so now I'll explain about expression of love, Guan and Qian. So, how do parents show love? In Chinese, the word Guan literally means to govern or train, reflecting the idea that firm guidance is a form of love. Another term, Qian, captures the feeling of closeness and devotion children feels from parents. Studies explain that Chinese affection often comes through sacrifice and support, like paying extra lessons or caring at every step rather than saying I love you frequently. In contrast, Western parents typically express love verbally and physically, like hugs and compliment. So a Chinese mother might not say good job all the time, but she shows love by making sure you never quit on your piano lesson. So both have love, just expressed differently. And next, discipline and communication. So Chinese parents often speak very bluntly. They don't shy away from saying a child is lazy or calling out mistakes. Believing it motivates improvement. There's even a culture comfort with using shame or the concept of chi, reminding kids they have disappointed the family. Amy Trial observed that Western parents are extremely anxious about hurting a child's self esteem, whereas Chinese parents assume strength, not fragility. For example, a Chinese mother might gasp at a child getting an A and ask what went wrong, while an American parent might cheerfully say great job or great effort on a B. In the West, discipline tends to use reasoning and encouragement, avoiding phrases that might make a child feel ashamed, and it's another big contrast in communication style.
Next is changing trends and blending styles. So, it's important to note these cultures are not static. Many families mix approach. Like global influence mean younger Chinese parents might blend traditional discipline with emotional support. Likewise, some Western parents think helicopter or tiger dads can be quiet demanding too. As one search notes, even in China parenting is evolving, some modern patterns are starting to combine the best of both worlds. In immigrant families, for instance, parents often learn American child psychology while still valuing education. So, rather than a strict East versus West split, you will see a spectrum of style influenced by both cultures. Next, avoiding stereotypes. We should avoid oversimplifying the idea that Asian parents are always tiger, strict, and Americans are permissive. Is a stereotypes. Scholars warn that this is quite simply an exaggeration. In reality, parenting varies widely in both cultures. Many Chinese American families use supportive, like even Western style methods, and many American families hold high standards and rules. Good intercultural awareness means seeing parents as individuals, understanding the reason behind a parent's style rather than labeling it as good or bad. Help us respect both sides.
Okay, so for the conclusion, culture profoundly shapes how parents raise their kids. Western parents often prioritize independence and nurturing the child's self esteem, while Chinese parents emphasize hard work, obedience, and family duty. Each approach has its own strength and its own context. There's isn't one universal best style for this. What matters is how well the parenting fits the child's culture environment. By learning about these differences, we become more empathetic. We can appreciate, for example, that a strict Chinese mother is motivated by love of education, while a relaxed American parent is motivated by love of childhood. This intercultural insight allow us to communicate and relate better across cultures. And that's all from our presentation. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys can understand what we're explaining to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.